Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Change Nerd channel. I'm Jason. This episode is the final in our series of 5 about the 5 questions of change. Our first question of why this and why now is the foundation of all the other questions. It's the most important because without it, you really don't have anything to build off of. The second, what does success look like when we're done, gives people that roadmap and understand where the journey is going. Third, about what happens if we don't take action, is being honest and candid that maybe staying in place is an option. Is it the best one? That's for you to decide. Question 4 was, how does anyone benefit from it? That's making sure that people are clear about what they get out of it when they're done, how to define the what's in it for me and what's in it for us, and paint a clear picture of what the destination is. The final question we're going to answer today is, does anything go away? Sometimes in the process of moving forward, there are things left behind. They can be easy to leave behind, or they can be difficult to leave behind. We want to make sure people know that we have thought through this because we want to be aware of the possible loss that comes with the change. As people move through the change curve that we've talked about in earlier episodes, they go through that trough of despair where they know something is not going to be there when they're finished. We want to make sure that we give good thought to that and have a plan how to address it and make people aware that we are aware. It's okay to share with people what you're feeling about the change. Sometimes in the professional world, there are changes at work that we don't see coming. Sometimes they are quick, sometimes they're not, sometimes they are painful, sometimes they are not. It requires careful and thoughtful messaging when we're sharing with people how we feel about the change. I've gone through change where I have shared with folks that I wasn't a fan when I first heard about it, and I had to get right with it in my mind. So maybe I had to ask some additional questions, maybe I had to do some research, maybe I needed just some quiet introspection to figure out how I feel about the whole thing. Then I discovered it wasn't going to be as bad. Sometimes people want to hear that. Sometimes people want to know that you're human and you've given consideration that there could be some things left behind. It demonstrates that you're holistic in your thinking and you're understanding the ramifications of the change. Thinking about what could be left up also demonstrates that you're thinking about how it affects other people. And that could be key in helping to get your what's in it for them through. Appropriately sharing how you feel about it also strengthens your credibility. Being mindful that we don't want to go in all catastrophic and the whole world is ending and the sky is falling. That may be how you felt about it at the beginning. How do you feel about it now? Share with people that journey. Share with them what it took for you to get comfortable with it. It can really help people to hear that somebody else has struggled a little bit with the change, that it wasn't easy to hear at first. As someone who works in the change world, it is assumed that I embrace every change with gusto and excitement. And the reality is, I don't. I have to think about it sometimes. I may ask for more time, but I certainly am not going to pour water on it right at the very beginning. I just need to think about it, and I need to get some more information. We've talked in this series about the importance of the why, and sometimes the people that are sharing the change with you aren't clear on the why. This is where we can be instrumental in helping them get clear and asking the same questions that we need to hear ourselves. Here's a couple of examples of people who were really good at explaining what was being given up. A few years back, if you remember, Taylor Swift had to re-record all of her albums. She was unusually explicit about the trade-off. It was nostalgia versus ownership. She clearly explained that fans would be giving up the original recordings that they grew up with, and some were not happy about that. The new versions could possibly sound a little different, but in exchange, she was reclaiming control over her work. She framed it as an excruciating but necessary loss, leaving behind my past, as she said, not a frictionless upgrade. She was smart in doing this because people were able to process the change before it happened. They became active participants instead of reluctant adopters. She didn't pretend nothing was being lost, and as a result, people were willing to get behind the change. Here's a really bad example at explaining what would be given up. Netflix decided to crack down on password sharing. They framed the change as fairness while downplaying the emotional loss. Users actually lost a long-standing cultural norm with Netflix that they had previously joked about and encouraged. They also lost shared rituals with family members outside of the home, and they also lost a sense of goodwill and flexibility. The message that was heard was emphasizing revenue and personalization, which didn't match the user's lived experience of loss. When you deny people's sense of loss, they experience the change as betrayal. In both of these instances, time, energy, and effort went into crafting a message around what was going away. In Taylor Swift's example, she knew it was going to cause disruption, and so she got out ahead of it. In Netflix's example, I'm sure they went through and had focus groups and tested the messaging, but in the end, users were not happy. And they're not the only one that has experienced that. We do have to put time, energy, and effort into crafting the message about what goes away. It doesn't take a lot, but it lets people know that we are thinking about what is being left behind. It could be a pivotal piece in helping you get people to join you on the change journey. We hope you've enjoyed this journey through the 5 change questions, starting with the why and working through your messaging and understanding how it affects people, working through your why as a foundation and crafting a communication strategy that helps people understand what's in it for them, understanding the why and coming up with a message of knowing, yes, things are given up as a result of moving forward, can help you achieve your desired results. Change is happening all the time to everyone. It happens daily, weekly, monthly, and even longer. Use the 5 questions to frame up what you want to do differently. Be sure to like and subscribe for more messages around how you can drive personal and professional change.